when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Oh. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me.
Iron Man star Terrence Howard has come out as the first major star to accuse Sean Diddy Combs of seemingly making a sexual advance towards him during an encounter the thespian recalls as bizarre. During an appearance on Patrick Bet-David's PBD podcast on Friday, April 4th, the 56-year-old spoke of an instance in which the embattled mogul contacted him, seemingly under the guise of helping him improve as an actor himself. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while, Howard said of what led him to initially link with Combs. However, upon finally meeting with the Bad Boy founder, the actor said that the hitmaker simply sat there staring at him to the point it began to make him uncomfortable. At one point, Diddy asked Howard to play some of the music the actor had recorded himself, a request he obliged. Yet, Howard says the alleged sexual assailant continued to look at him, leaving him bewildered by Combs' off-putting behavior. Unsettled by the encounter, Howard claims to have confided in his assistant regarding the incident, who deduced that Diddy had made a subtle advance toward Howard. "I think he's trying to F you," the Hustle and Flow star remembered the assistant saying of the famed impresario. Howard also admitted that his experience with Diddy was similar to that with other Hollywood producers, some of whom he's had to threaten to punch or knock their head off in light of their inappropriate conduct. "When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back," the Best Man star added on the podcast. "I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that S because the man card means everything." Howard and Diddy would later have friction over Quincy Brown, Diddy's stepson, proposed appearance on the hit Fox series Empire due to a disagreement over ownership of Brown's music rights. According to reports, Puffy had effectively banned Quincy from appearing on the series, which starred Howard as a result. Diddy kicked up a huge stink and called all the top brass at 20th Century Fox TV to get them to change their rules over music rights. But he didn't get his way, an insider revealed at the time. He said there was no way his son was signing over his intellectual property, so he banned him from the show. As you would expect, 50 Cent has reacted to Howard making outlandish claims about Diddy wanting to have S with him. 50, who has been relentlessly mocking Diddy since he was first accused of 2023, posted the clip on Instagram and wrote, "No comment, I'm staying positive. God help us all." Elsewhere in the interview, Terrence Howard made similar claims about those who attended Diddy's parties. He said, "When you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people who did all those things thinking there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing." He continued, "You get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, you don't have any foundation to pull yourself back. Maintain your man card no matter what." Howard, however, who offered no evidence for his claims, is no stranger to making outlandish statements. The Empire star has promoted a number of pseudoscientific theories which have been widely mocked in the scientific community, including that 1x1 equals sign 2. Meanwhile, Diddy has been accused of RNG other men in a growing number of lawsuits, most recently from a male photographer who claims that the mogul forced him to perform oral S on him. However, the Bad Boy boss has repeatedly denied such claims, with his lawyer saying, "No matter how many lawsuits are filed, especially by individuals who refuse to put their own names behind their claims, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor." The lawyer added, "We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail in court." With less than a month before the hip-hop mogul's Manhattan criminal S-trafficking trial, Diddy and his team of attorneys have already racked up several wins in the barrage of civil lawsuits that were brought against him following his September arrest. His lawyers have asked judges to unmask his accusers and force them to make their names public instead of suing under the cloak of anonymity. So far, they're winning. The defendants who oppose the Jane Doe status, I think, are doing it primarily as a means to intimidate the victim, said Douglas Wigdor, an attorney who represents several of Diddy's accusers. The rapper's court victories are forcing accusers to decide whether they should retreat from their court battles against the rapper or move forward with the knowledge that the world could forever associate them with the violent moments they describe in their lawsuits. Plaintiffs have filed more than 55 lawsuits against Diddy in New York federal and state courts, accusing the rapper of drugging and other forms of violence, often in excruciating detail. About 40 of those were filed under Jane Doe or John Doe pseudonyms, allowing the accusers to remain anonymous while publicly detailing allegations of SUL misconduct in court filings. Diddy, who remains locked up in a federal Brooklyn jail alongside Sam Bankman-Fried and Luigi Mangione, has vehemently denied the allegations, as well as the criminal charges against him. In court, his lawyers have opposed the plaintiff's anonymity in more than 24 cases. Judges ruled that 5 Doe accusers must reveal their names to the public if they want their cases to proceed. So far, a judge has permitted an accuser in only one case to proceed anonymously. The plaintiff later dropped the case. The judges overseeing the rest of the suits where Diddy's lawyers want to publicly unmask his accusers have not yet issued their decisions. 4 Doe accusers, Anna Cain, Anthony Tate, Candace McCrary, and Dexter Withers, refiled their federal lawsuits under their real names following orders by judges. It takes a lot of courage to come forward as an alleged victim in a high-profile case like this, Tony Busby, an attorney representing Tate, McCrary, and Withers, revealed. I admire the courage. Not all the cases, though, are likely to move forward. A federal judge recently threw out another woman's lawsuit after the plaintiff chose not to refile it with her real name. Another of Busby's Doe clients has an April 10th deadline to decide whether they want to affix their real name to their claims or drop their lawsuits against Diddy. This is a recurring issue in these types of cases that we always deal with, said Busby, an attorney whose firm represents accusers in most of the civil lawsuits against Diddy. Busby said one of his clients is still making up her mind about whether to use her real name. Wigdor, who represents Cain, one of the accusers who went public, said the legal standards for anonymity undermine the laws that allow accusers to bring lawsuits in the first place. While the legal system is supposed to offer justice for victims, going through a case in the public eye can make them relive their trauma all over again, said Wigdor, who also represents Cassie Ventura, Diddy's one-time girlfriend and primary accuser in his criminal case. The lawyer said he informs clients of the risk that their names could ultimately become public before bringing each lawsuit. We wouldn't want to have to be in a situation where we'd have to dismiss the complaint if the court ruled against us in terms of proceeding anonymously, he revealed. And that was the case with Anna. She had obviously preferred to be treated as a Jane Doe, but unfortunately that's not how the decision turned out, and so she's proceeding anyway. Using a Jane Doe or John Doe pseudonym allows accusers to keep their real names out of public court records and maintain some privacy. The person being sued still learns the plaintiff's identity so they can conduct discovery and mount a defense, but the information would be put in redacted or sealed court records rather than become public. In each case, a judge may decide whether the plaintiff can proceed with a Doe pseudonym or use their real name. Diddy's lawyers have argued that allowing the accusers to remain anonymous causes a significant asymmetry in fact-gathering because it makes it harder for the defense attorneys to find people who could discredit their stories. Cassie Ventura, who lit all the flames, is set to testify under her own name against her former partner in his upcoming federal trial. The 37-year-old singer and model is one of 4 alleged victims due to appear in court when the trial begins in New York on May 5th. In a motion submitted by federal prosecutors, it was confirmed that Cassie, initially referred to in court filings as Victim 1, will not remain anonymous during her testimony. In a new filing, prosecutors stated, "Cassie is prepared to testify under her own name. Victim 2, Victim 3, and Victim 4 have asked that their identities not be revealed to the press or the public." They added in the update, "This case has already received an exceptional amount of media coverage, which will presumably only increase as the trial proceeds. Permitting these measures will prevent unnecessary public disclosure of the victims' identities and the harassment from the media and others, undue embarrassment, and other adverse consequences that would almost certainly follow if these women were forced to reveal their true names publicly at trial." In November 2023, she filed a civil lawsuit against him, alleging multiple forms of abuse. The case was settled out of court a day later, but the complaint opened the floodgates for further civil claims against Diddy, including accusations of R from both women and men. Shortly afterward, 3 of Diddy's properties were raided by the FBI, and he was arrested on the 16th of September. He is currently being held without bail at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. In May, CNN published security footage from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, showing Diddy allegedly assaulting Ventura. In the video, the Grammy winner appears to kick and drag her while she waits for an elevator. His legal team accused CNN of manipulating the footage in a March 13th court filing, stating the video had been altered by removing the timestamp, changing the sequence, and increasing the playback speed. Prosecutors recently filed a revised indictment against Diddy, introducing new charges of trafficking and transportation to engage in PE-tion linked to a second alleged victim. According to the new filing, the rapper recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited Victim 2, and attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused Victim 2 to engage in commercial acts, knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that Victim 2 was engaging in commercial acts as a result of force, fraud, and coercion. In a rebuttal statement, Diddy's legal representative said, "These are not new allegations or new accusers. These are the same individuals, former long-term girlfriends, who were involved in consensual relationships. This was their private life, defined by consent, not coercion." Despite being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn since his arrest in 2024, the musician continues to make headlines. And recently, it was due to a leaked phone call between him and fellow rapper Kanye West. Amid this and West's now deleted unsettling rant on X, formerly Twitter, where he launched the Free Puff campaign, the friendship timeline of Kanye West and Diddy is also attracting new headlines. Amid a long string of social media posts, West recently dropped a new song that he claims features Diddy, along with his son Christian King Combs, and West's 11-year-old daughter Northwest, along with singer Jasmine Williams. The release of the song featuring Diddy amid his ongoing assault trial left netizens appalled, and to add to their distress, the song Lonely Road, Still Go to Sunshine kicked off with what is apparently a phone conversation between West and Combs, who is speaking from prison. On the recorded call, seemingly, Diddy says, "I want to just thank you so much for just taking care of my kids, man." He further adds, "Ain't nobody reach out to them? Ain't nobody call them?" West then responds saying, "Absolutely, I love you so much, man. You raised me, even when I ain't know you, know what I'm saying?" Not only this conversation, but the song also made the headlines after TMZ claimed that West's ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, tried to block its release using legal means. Yet, the rapper dropped the song on March 15th on X and later deleted it. From requesting U.S. President Donald Trump to help free Diddy to referring to the rapper as "my brother" in his X post, the relationship of these two controversial figures is something to watch out for. The beginning of interactions between Kanye West and Diddy can be traced back to the early 2000s, when both musicians found themselves in common circles as rappers and music producers. On many occasions, Kanye acknowledged Diddy's role in shaping and inspiring him as a musician. It was particularly during that time that West began to gain recognition for his work with Rockefeller Records after producing hit singles for artists like Jay-Z, Ludacris, and Alicia Keys. After hanging out in the same circle, the two hip-hop artists first collaborated professionally in 2006 when West produced the track Everything I Love for Sean Diddy Combs' 2006 album Press Play. The song featuring Nas and CeeLo became a massive hit and reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, thus making West and Diddy's first musical collaboration a complete success. After collaborating on Diddy's album, West and Diddy were spotted attending an event in London, where the duo even posed for a photo together alongside British royal family members Prince William and Prince Harry. The rappers made a joint appearance at the event to honor the late Princess Diana. Years later, in a 2011 interview on The Graham Norton Show, Diddy even confessed how he wanted Prince William and Prince Harry to go to his wild parties when they were young bucks. Diddy and West have never shied away from showing their mutual admiration for one another. In 2009, Diddy sang praises about West's musical abilities and said, "The other night, I go to the Kanye West concert, and I'm going there to see Kanye do this thing. I don't have anything but high expectations. The concert changed my life. I won't lie, I was so impressed and inspired." He further added, "It was beautiful, and I fell in love with hip-hop again. And I want to say thank you, Kanye, for giving me that." As their influence over the rap industry continued to grow, Kanye and Diddy collaborated again as Diddy produced West's single All Day. In the same year, Kanye also joined Diddy's production team called The Hitmen. The group famously became the backbone of Bad Boy Records' hits. Besides West, this production team included Chucky Thompson, Derek D. Angeletti, Stephen Stevie J. Jordan, Mario Winans, and Nashiem Myrick. This collaboration particularly supported Diddy when he worked on his Making Money Mitch record. And then came the Justin Bieber saga. It has been well known that Diddy acted as a mentor to Justin Bieber at the start of the singer's career, and the duo's connection recently came under scrutiny following the mogul's arrest. Interestingly, during the time that Bieber and Diddy worked together, the Canadian singer also formed a bond with Kanye West. Back in March 2016, Justin shared a picture of himself with Kanye, Diddy, and his manager, Scooter Braun, while they prayed backstage at a concert. During the same time, Bieber also upset many Swifties after he appeared to take a dig at Taylor Swift by posting a photo of himself FaceTiming with Kanye on Instagram and wrote in the caption, "Taylor Swift, what up?" Eventually, Bieber distanced himself from West in 2022 following the rapper's inappropriate rant about his wife, Hailey Bieber. Then, in June 2022, Kanye West presented the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards to Diddy. In his speech for the same, the rapper opened up about the impact of the bad boy music mogul on his life, both personal and professional. West also hinted that Diddy helped him in his decision to marry his now ex-wife, Kim Kardashian. Before presenting Diddy with the honor, Kanye referred to the rapper as his idol and favorite artist. He further added, "I go to him for advice to this day. He inspired so many of my choices, so many of my life choices, my wife's choices." The years-long bond between Kanye and Diddy eventually came crumbling down amid the feud that ensued between the two in October 2022. It all started after Kanye wore a shirt with the phrase "White Lives Matter" on the back at his Paris fashion show. As the rapper faced massive backlash for wearing a shirt with the racist slogan, Diddy also hit back at the rapper, calling the clothes tone-deaf during an interview with The Breakfast Club. Following Diddy's criticism of his actions, Kanye hit back at his idol in a public feud by sharing details of their heated text exchange. At one point during their exchange, West said, "This was war," while Diddy responded saying, "I'm just trying to talk to you as a black man, and I'm talking to you because this is hurting our people. Stop." What followed? Kanye, along with Ty Dolla $ign, headlined the first night of the Rolling Loud California 2024 show, which took place at Hollywood Park in Los Angeles. While the performance itself courted controversy, as the rappers merely stood on stage for an hour while pre-recorded music from their previously released first album played over the loudspeakers, there was another moment involving Diddy that grabbed eyeballs. According to reports, Diddy attended the performance in March 2024 and even requested a meeting with Kanye. But as per TMZ, the Jesus Walks hitmaker denied his request and said he wasn't interested in speaking to him. While there are no details about how West and Diddy feud eventually got resolved, February 2025 witnessed the unexpected moment of Kanye showing his support for the disgraced music mogul. After his controversial entry at the 2025 Grammys with his wife Bianca Censori, West took to X to urge U.S. President Donald Trump to help in freeing Sean Diddy Combs. Calling out fellow Hollywood celebrities for not defending Combs, he wrote in his now-deleted X post, "Donald Trump, please free my brother Puff." The Diddy scandal led many celebrities who have been a part of his circle to come under public scrutiny. But West's openly vocal stand in support of Diddy has been the hardest pill to swallow. While many await the commencement of the Diddy trial, new twists and turns continue to crop up, including how one of Diddy's defense lawyers quit the case months before it goes on trial. Whichever way it ends, it seems this drama is just getting started. And that's it from us today. Until next time, thank you for watching.